Okay, some quick ideas. I know, like for startups, it's hard to come up with content marketing. What should be on the site. So just a few ideas. I'll show you how I would do it from my own site. I do B2B SEO. I do SEO for lots of companies, and just tell you how I would approach it from my angle to attract traffic and to build up my brand. So let's say I'm targeting Israel, right? From with my website. In Google Trends, I can go right away to pick the country you're targeting, America, Israel, whatever country you're targeting. Type in the topic, Google Trends. You could see, uh, the time span. Pick where you want to be looking for. Maybe if it's e-commerce, Google Shopping. I pick startups, so I typed in startup company, and I just like see what issues startup companies have. So I'm looking through these. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm looking through these, and I saw one thing that caught my eye was, you know, Startup Nation, Google for Startups. So Google for Startups looks pretty interesting. For some reason, this is showing up a lot. So I'll take this Google for Startups. I see it's trending in the past 3 months at least. I think also in the 1 month. So that'll be my topic. I'll look this up. Then this is a little bit. You could decide if you want to do this step. Let's say you're not so creative and you want to be able to use another a type of blog article that or a style that you think is creative is good. Sage is I think they do an amazing job. They provide a lot of nice posts and they rank really highly. So let's say I'll take this, I'll go back into Claude, and I'll tell Claude, I'll say create a Claude skill that writes in this format. Reverse engineer the writing style. Right? I'll type it in. I'll give it some time. And then what I'll do is I'll come back. I'll get my search, right, which is my uh, Google for Startups. I'll come back here. After it's done as my skill, I'll start putting in topics and adding into my post. So just in terms of the actual writing itself, this is the easy, simple way. I wouldn't put too much time into this because I think it's better to create a lot of different angles and see which one's working rather than put like all my money on one attempt on one style. So maybe I would put 400 or 500 words in this. I read it for Google for Startups using that format, and I would take a few other entries from here and then come back later and see what's working. So I think anyone that's a startup that is looking for a foundation for content writing, this is pretty straightforward and easy. Let me know if you have any questions.